What's up, everybody? This is B Papa here for the first episode of the new WrestlingMarks.com podcast. This is a new weekly show where we'll be covering everything that goes down on WrestlingMarks.com. If you haven't been to the site yet, check it out. Take a look. It's one word, WrestlingMarks.com. Totally free, and you can have a wrestling blog, vote for your top 10 wrestlers of the week, rate matches from all promotions, vote in polls, keep up with all the latest news, and more. This is our first episode this week, a pilot episode, if you will. We're not going to have a fancy podcast, RSS feed, or anything. We're just going to throw this one up on the YouTube, get any feedback we can, and we'll be back next week with a full episode. So let's get into it. One of the top stories this week is that SmackDown is leaving the CW network. It was canceled by the CW a week ago. A lot of speculation as to where that brand would end up, and some people have gone as far to say that it could end up on one of the four major networks. There's been a lot of debate about that, a hot topic on Wrestling Marks, and our comment of the week comes from DXSSI, who says when a network debuts a new hit show that doesn't yet have a lot of comparable competition, all of the other networks scream, "Where can I get another show like that?" Gladiators is a testosterone-fueled entertainment juggernaut that appeals primarily to young adult males, is sporty but not quite a sport, features athletic prowess and competitors wearing spandex, has Hulk Hogan working the mic between events, etc. The list of comparisons go on and on. Also this week from Willie RKO, we've got a couple of stories on TNA. Ravens left the promotion, and Samoa Joe still hasn't re-signed. We've got other stories on Rey Mysterio's injury putting his immediate future in question, Hulk Hogan's new wrestling promotion, and links to interviews with Kurt Angle, Gregory Helms, and more. If you think we missed something, one of the great things about WrestlingMarks.com is that anybody can post news, so all you need is a link, a free account to Wrestling Marks, and you can post a story for the world to see. Up next in the blog section, we've got a lot of talk about John Cena. It seems like every other blog entry posted is about Cena, and whether people love him, they hate him, they think he's a great worker, they think he's a poor worker, they think he can sell, they think he can't sell. In fact, one of the Cena blogs had over 120 comments. So a lot of passionate debate about whether or not John Cena is good or not. Also this week, we've got Punk Fan 101, questioning whether or not Vince McMahon is a wrestling genius, and Willie RKO detailing things about Hulk Hogan in his past, making the claim that he might be the worst man in pro wrestling history. So if you want to leave your 2 cents on any of those topics or more, head over to Wrestling Marks, leave a comment, or if you got something of your own to say, start a blog. Up next, we've got the top 10, which is the weekly chart voted on by members of our site. Head over to Wrestling Marks, create your own top 10, and at the end of the week, we compile the results and come up with an overall WrestlingMarks.com top 10. Number 1 on the list this week is Jeff Hardy, returning to the top spot after taking a 1-week break. Number 2, we've got The Undertaker. Number 3, John Cena falls from the top spot. Number 4, CM Punk. 5, Triple H. Randy Orton comes in at number 6. Shawn Michaels at number 7, Chris Jericho at number 8, Batista at 9, and rounding out the list, a bit of a surprise, Kofi Kingston coming in at number 10. Off the list this week, Edge. His 9-week streak has come to an end. Another part of our site is the match rating section, where you can rate matches from WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, and more on the classic 5-star scale. And this week, our match of the week is Shawn Michaels versus Jeff Hardy from Raw. It's got a 4-star average and a lot of people voting for it, and we're thinking it's one of the best matches we've seen on Raw in some time. Also in the match rating section, in anticipation of No Way Out, we've added all classic No Way Out shows for match rating. So if you want to rate the 3 Stages of Hell, Mick Foley versus Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match, Brock Lesnar defending the title against Eddie Guerrero, head on over to Wrestling Marks in the match rating section and leave your stars. Finally this week we've got our polls, and mentioned John Cena earlier and how people love him or hate him, as we all know. And one of the polls added was, John Cena, what do you really think of him? There's 5 choices, varying from, very favorable to very unfavorable, and as you might expect, those 2 are the most popular choices. The middle one's not getting very many votes. As of right now, 46% say he's one of the best going today, and 35% say they can't stand him. So head on over to Wrestling Marks. We've still got that poll open if you want to vote. Another one from earlier in the week asking what the best pay-per-view event was of recent weeks. The Royal Rumble came in at number one with 50% of the votes. UFC with Brock Lesnar facing Frank Mir, that got 33% of the votes, beating out TNA's Against All Odds. So keep checking back for Wrestling Marks. We add a new poll every day. So that's it for this week. If you want to learn more or get involved yourself, head on over to WrestlingMarks.com. It's 100% free to join, and I'll see you next week. Bye.